It is bedtime, but yet it is Blasted or Statute time here. We are live with two of the buds back from Baltimore Comic-Con, and we'll go ahead and jump into the live chat. I'm not going to start with Drew tonight because he's never ready. Paul should be ready, so let's go with Paul. Yeah, whatever, Drew. A quote. Yeah, give us your quote there, Paul. They can't hear him? Wonder why they can't hear. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, I don't know why. That's not it. That's my... Good Lord. Dave always mutes somebody somehow. Well, Dave's trying to figure out what the hell I did wrong. There, is that better? Talk now, guys.
And come back in.
Can you hear me
all
now?
All at the same time?
All at the same time. They're not saying nothing.
Yeah, nobody's talking now. They're like, fuck this shit.
Fuck it. I'm going to go watch football.
I can hear you.
Can't hear Paul. Pocan Joe's in the house.
Oh, everybody says it's all good now.
Okay, all well, right. We've already...
Hey, what's going on? Jason's in the house. Comics misexplained.
So
all good.
One of these days, just one of these days, I will get it figured out and learn how to do stuff proper. But go ahead, Drew, with your quote.
I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. I'm all out of bubblegum.
They live.
They do live.
They live. Roddy Piper.
You look okay. You look like you fell in the clam dip back in 1968.
Mike,
great movie.
Give us up on that chat and give us a quote.
All right, in the chat, Pocan Joe. I've been hanging out with that dude all weekend. I'm sick of seeing him. We got
that cock blocking son of a bitch.
Someone.
Sounds like there's a story behind that. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Also, a gentleman I just recently met this weekend in person. Comics Misexplained. I can't even say his name right. Jason, it was good meeting you. We'll have to do it again soon. CR Comics to Toys is in the house. Double S comic reader. Jason Smith, as always. JLS is in here. Jock Yo, Airborne Sapper comic fan. Haven't seen him in a while. Good to see him in the chat. Simon's Comics is here, and that's all I see right now. I probably missed a couple, but let me switch screens here. My quote is from the year 2000, and it goes, "I wish I could say something classy and inspirational, but that just wouldn't be our style. Pain heals, chick stick scars, glory lasts forever."
Chick stick scars.
Nobody?
That's is it Back to the Future?
No.
Nice try there.
Back to the Future
Great
2.
legend.
TJ Watson is in the house. Pocan, yeah, he got it. The replacements.
And finally, my quote: "If everybody can hear me and see me, hopefully that's gonna work."
Big shout out to Comic Core. He's in the house right now. Stopped in to say hi, and now he's gonna go back watching a crappy football game.
Yeah, Chad's had enough of our shit this week.
Yeah, Chad was done with us.
My quote from 2003. For too long I've been parched of thirst and unable to quench it. Too long I've been starving to death and haven't died. I feel nothing, not the wind on my face, nor the spray of the sea, nor the warmth of a woman's flesh.
Twilight.
No. It's good, though. I like the sparkle. Were you thinking of sparkles?
You always make it think of sparkles, Dave.
Mm-hmm. I do. I wasn't there to share the room with you this week. Nobody gets it? 2003?
Passion of the Christ?
Yeah, that's
Twilight
what it
New
is.
Dawn.
Yeah, Passion of the Christ.
Twilight
Is it really?
4.
No, it's not Passion of the Christ. It's Jack Sparrow. But which one?
Oh, that's the David Jones, the squid faced. It's Captain
one.
Wiener face, right?
No, it's not Squish Weed. It is Curse of Black Pearl. It's the first one. It's actually Barbosa who sings that. Who said that? So I guess it can be kind of a different take tonight because not a lot of us have read any books.
I read fucking everything they came. Dave.
Did you read everything, Drew?
I read most of my shit. Yeah.
Well, what I know, Paul read a couple. Mike, I don't think read shit.
No.
Let's go and start with your first book, Drew.
All right, let's go ahead and we'll get it out of the way, and we'll talk about Doomsday Clock. Well, this is issue number 7 of 12. This is the first DC proper appearance of Dr. Manhattan, so go ahead and slab these up. They'll be worth nothing because nothing happens in this book still. The most has happened in this volume, this issue of this story than any of the others, and still really nothing happens. We get some foreshadowing of Superman being the villain of the story somehow, and I don't really understand where any of this is going. I'm gonna hold out and read it all. I don't know why. Yeah, it's a stash because I'm buying it. It's a blast because it's terrible. There's some really good Joker stuff in here, but beyond that, it's just a whole lot of nonsense from every angle. So yeah, it sucks, but I'm gonna keep buying it. Don't ask me why.
I read it, but anybody else read it before it gets to me?
No, because any book that I gotta go back and read the last one because it's been 6 months because the last fucking issue, I ain't gonna read it, and it's been fucking terrible, like Drew said.
Tats Comics just jumped in here. He said, "Hi everyone, my son says you're doing great."
Well, thank you, Tat's son.
Somebody likes us.
Yeah, somebody. I did read Doomsday Clock, kind of like you said, Paul. Dude, it's been 2 months since the last book came out, so it's kind of hard to remember everything we read of what's kind of happened last time. The art's great. I love the art. We do get it's not his first appearance, but we get another Wang in this issue. Nice. Dr. Manhattan's back in here, naked again. So it's 2 weeks in a row we get a little Wang.
Can we talk for a minute about how you just said it's great art, and he's got the least detailed Wang in the history of comic book.
Oh no! I'm not talking about
just
detail on the Wang. Yeah.
The art in this book's atrocious. I mean,
how's it atrocious?
Oh man! All right,
isn't it Gary? It's Gary Frank, right? Isn't that the artist?
It's pedestrian as hell. It's all And look, tell me if you see a Wang there or not.
We don't need
I don't see any Wang. Here's the thing: this isn't going to get censored because there's no Wang there. It's just it's an amorphous blob of blue. It's just this book is horrendous on every level. It's just like all the faces. It's just like Grimace face panel, Grimace face panel, Grimace face panel, Grimace face panel. It's all it is. It's Gary Frank drawing Grimace faces, and it's just like, tell me, how many Grimace faces do you see on this page? How many of these people are grimacing? Oh, wait, 9 panels, 9 Grimace faces? Yeah, this is... I'm sorry, Huey. Go ahead and finish. I don't mean to interrupt. I'm a little lit up about this. I'm a little lit up about it.
You're talking Grimace. I'm where's the Hamburglar? That's my question.
Fucking... They all look like the Hamburglar. They got these stupid little domino masks on. Like, is it Marionette and Mime, or is it the Hamburglar and Harley Quinn? I don't know what the hell's going on here.
Speaking of Harley Quinn, the search for Fat Harley proved successful at the end of Baltimore Comic-Con. I saw the biggest Harley I have ever seen.
We're getting off a flatbed truck with a crane.
Is that the one that Joe blocked you on? No?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
But going back to Doomsday
I've been in the
Clock,
gym, man. I ain't hitting on Fat Harleys.
real quick, at Doomsday Clock, it's going to be one of those books that's going to be better read under like a trade versus.
No, it's not. Still gonna suck.
No. What I'm saying is to be able to remember what's going on in the story, versus this waiting every 2 months and kind of trying to remember what happened last time. That's what I'm saying. Just to be able to stick with the story a little better, it's going to be better in the trade. I'm not saying the story is going to be any better. I'm just saying being able to remember what's going on is going to be easier. Not that I'm buying the trade.
Based on what I recall from the first couple issues, nothing fucking happens.
Oh, she was big, Jason Smith.
We got the teriyaki missed himself, Trinity, in here too.
Trinity, okay.
What is up, Trey?
Let's segue since Jeremy is in the chat. Those of you who don't know, myself and DruManchu were this weekend, we're in Baltimore for the Comic-Con. And one of the highlights of the con was actually getting Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo to talk to Jeremy. They are like gods to him. But so that was pretty.
A little G.
A little G.
Demigods.
It was to be part of that. Just on my end was amazing, and that was the highlight of Baltimore for me. So,
even though those bitches took too long to eat their sandwiches,
I know, right? But their handlers were super nice to us. Were accommodating, and it was just awesome.
Yeah, big shout out to the folks at Comics Guy. I'm a company like that.
We're losing him.
Book signed and graded. But everybody that worked over there was super accommodating, super helpful with helping us put that together. They were absolutely awesome. Couldn't ask anything more from staff at a con. Those guys were great.
CR Comics and Toys asked how bad was their line. I don't know.
It was atrocious. We skipped it.
Yeah, we had some planning, and we were able to speak to them first thing and do our thing, and we stood in no line. So, and Chad was really the mastermind behind all this. Chad from the Comic Corps. So.
Cool. Moving on to Paul. I know you had a few in our chat earlier, a few F Marvel and F Image, F DC, F everything books. What's your first book tonight?
What's that DC one where everybody dies?
Yeah,
Crisis.
Tom King's
Crisis.
Heroes in Crisis.
Yeah, I mean it was different. It was okay. I mean, there was nothing special about it, and a lot of people died. That's probably my pick of the week based on what I read.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because everything else was fucking horrible.
What about you, Mike? You read that?
I didn't read nothing this week.
Oh, that's right. You didn't read anything. You're too busy being drunk. Drew, what'd you take on Heroes in Crisis? I got both those covers as well.
Heroes in Crisis. I'm a fan of the Clayman art in this. I think that it's an absolutely beautiful book. And Tom King is one of those guys that, for me, he absolutely knocks it out of the park, where he strikes out looking at the ball. And this right here looks like a good swing. Real happy with this. Harley Quinn is a main feature in this book, and it doesn't suck. That is news to me. I'm not used to that. I'm used to seeing Harley in a book and knowing that I'm not going to enjoy it. But this has a really cool twist. It's dark, and strange, and I like where it's going. So I'm on board. 9 issues, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, she was all stabby.
Was pretty stabby. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and be picking up all issues of this too. Definitely kind of a cool take. Anybody's thought, is it canon? Is it going to be canon in the rest of DC? Because we have was it Barry Allen dead here, so spoiler alert. You know, I've all
That's
these
not
characters
Barry. That's Wally West.
Oh, Wally
Yeah,
West.
that's Wally.
I'm sorry.
Wally West and Arsh. Good. Get rid of him.
Do we think this is going to be canon, or is this like an Elseworld stuff?
This is canon.
It's like when Marvel had Scourge in the Captain America books. They used him to just get rid of C and D characters en masse.
I remember that.
Yeah, I think that this is gonna kind of clean up some of the stuff that Rebirth messed up. I think they're going back and they're retconning the Jeff Johnsing of the DC universe. They have basically, Wally West coming back was the crux of Rebirth, and if they're killing Wally West before we get any sort of answers with Dr. Manhattan, they're basically saying, yeah, none of that ever mattered at all. And that's kind of disappointing, but at the same time, refreshing to know that life can go on without worrying about Jeff Johns finishing a terrible book.
Now, I got a question here. So, Trinity asks if I was in a closet. That's because of what's behind me, or is it the sound issue? Just so I know. But no, I'm not in the closet. This is actually my new man cave. I'm almost done decorating it, getting it set up, and I'll end up doing a room tour of it probably here next week or so.
Yeah, he's not in the closet. He came out years ago.
I came out years ago. Got a free T-shirt with it.
All right.
All right, what there, Mike?
All right, so also in Baltimore, the first night we met some cool people.
A lot of cool people.
Well, we're going to talk about first, before anything, we're going to talk about the Comic Book Fiend Club.
Hell yeah.
We went to this bar and we saw a group of gentlemen who looked like bikers, had the vests and everything. And they're bikers, and they're also comic book collectors. And here is their logo. And I think they subbed everybody up. You could actually go find them. You could sign up, join. You get what do you just pay for the patches? And,
yeah. I was talking to the president. You pay for the patches. You put them on your own cut. Kind of do your own thing. They've got podcasts. They've got YouTube channels. I haven't found all of these guys yet, but I got a couple brand new friends on Facebook through it. And these guys are, definitely some cool cats from West Virginia all the way up to Canada.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of folks in the PA, Jersey area, some New York guys as well. We're doing our Comic Core on Friday night live from Sliders, right across the street from Camden Yards. And the dude from Canada, right, says to me, we're talking about who's on the panel. He's like, GPAP, Gene Paul Ace Peter? I know that guy. So it's like these guys have ties to our community already. We want to make sure that we're all subbing them up and bringing them in, and we're real happy about meeting these guys out there. Real cool cats. Some of the guys that weren't even at the bar were rolling around the con in their cuts, and I roll up on them and be like, hey, we met your boys at the bar last night, and they were super cool as well. So definitely some cool cats.
Yep.
And Trinity made reference to it. I'd like to thank you, Drew, for smoothing things over with Chad, the Lobo.
Look, that's my girl, so we'll be all right.
Yeah, I just do a sub to him from from my channel. I'll do it from the Blasted or Stash channel as well too. So.
Yeah, maybe it'd be pretty cool if we could see him grow. More members, whatever. But
yeah, we'll definitely check out their podcast too. Okay.
Go ahead.
I was going to talk about my next book. I know when I read this book. The unfortunate thing is now Eric Powell is off of the art on this, which is really sad to see. I love Eric Powell's art. That's Hillbilly Red-Eyed Witchery from Beyond Part 2 of 4. So, I mean, if you know Eric Powell or you're a fan of his art, this is just not gonna cut it nearly as much as Eric Powell stuff. Take a look at that right there. It's just not good stuff. I'll continue to go ahead and get this one, but if Eric Powell's not going to be on art, I'm probably going to end up dropping Hillbilly after this too. So I'll definitely keep an eye on that, see who's on art. But that was one main reason I've been picking it up, just because of that. So this is a blast on art, but I'll pick up the next two to finish that little story arc out, though. How about you, Drew? Your next book?
All
or
right,
a story
let's talk
from
about
Baltimore, whatever you like to do.
Well, I'll do some books since I'm the one who probably read the most books this week. I'll do some books, and then we can always talk Baltimore later on. Let's see. I really enjoyed. Shout out to my boy Chad, Spider Gideon number 0. This is the first appearance of Marvel Spider-Man from the PS4 game in the Spider-Man universe, in the Marvel 616 universe, I guess. And I was a really big fan of this book. He meets up with Otto Octavius, the superior Spider-Man, and they fight villains together. Peter Parker's Peter Parker. He's quippy and he's kind of flighty. And Otto is Otto. He's totally badass, and he's clearly the superior Spider-Man. Great to see them interacting this way. I was a big fan of this book. I thought the art was good. It's Clayton Crane art. The story by Christos Gage. You cannot be mad at Clayton Crane art. Met that dude today. Signs the books for me. I got some stuff at CGC right now that I'm very excited about. So, yeah, definitely supporting him and Christos Gage on Spider Gideon number 0. This new Spider-Verse is looking like it's going to be pretty badass. I'm excited about
it. Mike or Paul, do you have anything else before we go to Mike? Another book you read this week?
I tried to read X-Men Red because I love X-Men Red, and the art was fucking horrible. Fuck Marvel.
You fuck Marvel.
I'm not going there yet.
Oh, okay.
You didn't read it. You got a story of Drew from Baltimore?
A story about Drew?
Yeah, give us a story about Drew.
I don't have
Baltimore.
a story about Drew, but I do want to shout out some other cool cats we met.
Okay.
The first day we were eating at Bubba Gum Shrimp right on the waterfront there. Bubba Gum Shrimp, and 2 gentlemen overheard the chaos between us and the Comic Corps, and they walked over and introduced themselves, and it was none other than another bunch of YouTubers called Real Talk Comics. 2 cool guys actually came out and hung with us that first night. And
you guys saw the Comic Corps on Friday night. They were on the Comic Corps Friday night. They had a lot of good stuff to say.
They're up and comers, and they were asking us all a bunch of questions. So go sub these guys up too. As you can see, they have Facebook, Twitter, and all that jazz. Go help them out. Go give them some subs. Go give them some love. That's all I got.
Yeah, I checked out their channel real quick. A lot of really good content. There's actually 2 other members that weren't with us that first night that we met Saturday afternoon. They got a lady in the group as well. If that tweaks you, go ahead and check that out. They do like some trailer reactions, all kinds of talk about comics, movies, all kinds of good stuff. So yeah, definitely check those guys out. Maryland guys, PG County, more of like a DC than a Baltimore style, but like, they're fam. So check those guys out, definitely.
Okay. My next book. This is Justice League Odyssey number 1. The book starts out with Jessica Cruz all by herself out in space patrolling, and she's saying
all by myself.
And she's into talking to Baz. What's his name? Simon Baz. Saying how she's bored.
Basils.
And then their communication get cut off, and she sees a Brainiac ship going by. She ended up catching up with it and find out it's Cyborg, Starfire, and Azrael in there. Is it Starfire? I can't remember Starfire. I think it is. And they said they're on this mission. The Justice League doesn't know about it. They end up getting to this planet, and we find out that they're actually being worshipped. Darkseid shows up in this book too. It's kind of a different look on Darkseid. But definitely a cool book. I'm not sure if this is like an offshoot of this Justice League or if it's going to have a mini-series on this or what this is. It wasn't too bad. I definitely pick up issue 2 to see where this is going and see where their godlike beings are. They have the goddess, the machine, and the angel. So those are the three gods. So definitely it's a sash for me. Darkseid appearance, good stuff. Drew read Justice League Odyssey?
I did not read Justice League Odyssey. I didn't realize that even came out this week. I missed it.
I tried to read it
on Wednesday.
You tried. Why couldn't you finish it?
Because it looks like they couldn't finish the art.
What's wrong with the art in this one? Jeez, oh Pete.
It looked like they were half done with it, and they just threw it on the page and said, "Ship it."
Wow,
it was horrible.
There was only 8 grimaces on 9 panels.
Back to you, Drew, in your next book or a couple books, whatever you want to do.
I'll do a pair right now. I'll talk about X-Men Red since Paulie couldn't finish it. He didn't like the art. I thought the art was passable, not great, but passable, and I really dug the story. I like what they're doing with this. Any story that gives me more Honey Badger, I'm in. I'm in like Flynn. Also, the final issue of X-Men Blue came out this week. I picked up the all red cover here. And my lighting's all fucked up.
That's actually a badass cover, dude. I like that.
Yeah, man, isn't it? That was awesome. I was like, all red. Yeah, I'm all in. This story right here finishes up before Extermination, and wraps up X-Men Blue, which I think overall has been the most consistent over 36 issues of the X-Men titles coming out of Resurrection, and going from that into Extermination issue number 3, which shows Ahab expanding his powers and some real ultra violence happening to the X-Men and the X-teams going all over the place and being super confused. We don't get much to move the plot forward here, but I'm really enjoying this, and I can't wait for me to get the next issue and find out more of what Ed Brisson has in store for the X-Men. So excited about those 3 X books this week. All stashes, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I said, I thought payday was Friday, but it's Monday, so I missed a whole bunch of books sitting in my LCS waiting to read. So I'm kind of irritated about that. Sorry, I had to correct Poconcho's grammar there in the chat.
That was pretty great. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You appreciate that?
Yes.
I'm kind of a grammar Nazi sometimes when it comes to certain stuff.
Well, me and Pocanchoa, we've got a little bit of a feud going right now.
All right, yeah.
Nothing serious.
You want to go into that?
Do you want to?
We will get to it later.
Okay,
we're gonna get to it later. That's the best story I have from the weekend, so we're gonna get to it later.
Okay, so Justice League Dark number 3, first full appearance of the Upside Down Man. He comes in, and he is wrecking shit. He takes Detective Chimp, turns him into mush. The Swamp Thing shows up, ends up destroying him. I mean, they all end up coming back toward the end of the book. Wonder Woman has some new powers. They're kind of figuring out where those are coming from. Definite stash. Going to be picking it up. Sorry, I just read that comment. Definite stash for me. Going to pick it up Justice League Dark number 4 and continue on. This is great stuff. So stash for me.
God bless you, Jeremy. You. Oh man!
Pecan Joe.
Shout out to Count Von Strange Roman numeral. Good to see you in here. He said, "What's up, everybody? How was the convention?" Another highlight for the convention for me was meeting Jason. Comics. He's in the chat right now. Comics Misexplained. Cool cat, man. Would love to hang out more with him. also formerly from reviews from the Batcave. Now with the Comic Court, Chad. I could hang out with that dude forever, man. He's a good guy. We got to do it again soon. So meeting those two kids, uh, Drew, hanging out with Drew again.
Always a pleasure.
I really don't like Drew.
It was fun for me. Hanging out with me is not fun for anyone.
Oh wow!
But yeah. Speaking, were we talking about Jenny Frison?
We were before the show, yes.
Oh, okay. I was gonna segue if we were talking about her now.
We can talk about her now.
So one of the first booths I went up to was hers. She was all by herself in her little.
All by myself.
Just like that. I felt like singing that to her.
Oh, did you?
And she's so beautiful. But I talked to her for a little bit. She's a cool chick. And I bought a print from her. And that is the Spider-Gwen print right here. And she signed it really small. Right there. So that's what I got from her.
Is Jenny Frison the one that Jason was hitting on in front of her husband?
Jason was not hitting on her in front of her husband. We were all hitting on her in front of her husband.
And when he says everyone, all the guys at the con, except for the bronies weren't getting on. Shout out to
the bronies were imagining her wearing a Pono costume. Jason at least acknowledged her husband. Everybody else was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, Jason says that he's married to her now.
I'm sorry, I was paying attention to what Jeremy was saying. I had an echo fixing that.
What?
You guys want to do another book? Or?
I've only got one more book I've read this week. Why don't we go with Drew and see what else he's got going on?
All right, well, I'll throw two at you guys real quick. See if anybody read these. Old Man Hawkeye #9. We finally get Old Man Bullseye shows up. And he is Old Man Badass. This has continued to impress. I'm excited about it. And you should be too. So buy that up. Also, Infinity Warp's Iron Hammer. I really, really dug this story about Sigurd Stark. He's obviously going to be expanded upon in the next issue. Came out of a storm. Nobody knew who he was. He had no memory of his past. And then all of a sudden, he knows everything about technology and becomes a billionaire. And then all this shit goes to hell, and he ends up getting captured and having to build an Iron Man suit and get a giant mystical hammer and wreck shit. And it's pretty awesome. I enjoyed it. I thought the art was a little bit hit or miss, but Ewing's tale here is really well spun. It's on par, if not better, than the Soldier Supreme that came out last week. I'm really, really digging it. Really cool take.
It was decent. I read that one.
That's it?
I thought the way that they melded all the names together, so they're like all Iron Man names, but like with a Norwegian feel to them, was really cool.
Okay. I guess I'll go on to my last book. It is Marvel 2-in-1 number 10, Thing and Human Torch. So this book starts off at the end of the last one where they get wrecked by the Fantastic Four from this planet or this time frame. But they end up getting their powers back, end up coming back and kicking ass. And now we're finally getting that crossover between Fantastic Four and the Marvel 2-in-1. So it looks like next issue is going to be Mr. Fantastic and Thing. So definitely still a good book. 2-in-1's been pretty great since the beginning, so it's a stash for me as well. Drew, did you pick up 2-in-1?
I did. I've been loving 2-in-1. The art took a little lull for a couple issues there. It's not super great in this issue either, but I did really enjoy the story, and I love the fact that 2-in-1 solicits came out in previews, and we're getting 2-in-1 to continue, and it's not going to be Thing and Human Torch. We got a arc coming up with Thing and Mr. Fantastic, like you just mentioned. We're also getting a Human Torch Invisible Woman arc coming up, so they're going to be taking some different opportunities to explore these characters and expand upon them a little bit outside of the Fantastic Four run of Dan Slott, which seems to be more focused on an epic story that they want to tell there. So I'm excited about it. I'm still loving this book. I think Zdarsky's great on these characters, and if he's given an opportunity to work with Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm, we're going to get something pretty awesome with that as well. So moving forward, I'm definitely stashing this one.
So it's a nice segue. You guys also, I'm sorry, what were you going to say, Paul?
No, I didn't say nothing.
I thought you were going to say something. Segue into Mr. Dan Slott. You guys got to meet him, talk to him for a few minutes. Why don't you give us some input on that?
Dan Slott was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. His line was super long, and we waited in it way longer than you would think looking at that line. And the reasoning behind that is actually pretty fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
Every single book that somebody brought to Dan Slott, he had an anecdote about. Every single cover, he had a comment for them. He had jokes. He had a story about him starting out writing, backup Punisher stories and trying to get John Byrne to do the art. And, there was just just a bevy of entertainment, just standing there, waiting in line, watching him shoot the shit with everybody, joking around with everybody. Fantastic guy. Did a great video shout out for both the Comic Core and Blaster Stash It. So you're going to see that online eventually. Keep your eyes peeled for some wonderful people saying some wonderful things about us wonderful people. Beyond that, he was absolutely hilarious the whole time. Wasn't charging for signatures, just simply asked that you give some money to the Hero Initiative. And he was so affable and easy to get along with, just the kind of guy that you want to go out and have a beer with. Gave an epic anecdote about him growing his beard, and Axel Alonso, the only editorial note that he gave him the whole time he's been working at Marvel is that he needed to keep his beard. So that was just a really great guy and a pleasure to meet him.
Yeah, I had no pressing matters going on at this con, so I was just kind of hanging out in line with these guys. And I said, you know what, Lo, I'm going to get this book signed since I'm standing here. Once I found out he was only taking donations, I picked this up earlier in the con, and this is a variant of Fantastic Four #1, and he signed it right up there. Really cool guy.
Yeah, I actually forgot about it. Jason just popped in the chat and mentioned it up again. He told a great anecdote about having to tell his mother to stop forging his signature on books because people sell those on eBay. It's a fantastic story. It was absolutely wonderful to meet him, and that was great. I got him to sign my Fantastic Four #1 regular cover here. He also signed a couple other books for me, and I don't know where the hell I put those, but got him to sign my Superior Spider-Man #1 and the Mobius strip issue of a Silver Surfer. So pretty excited about that.
Did you talk at all about getting any backlash for Fantastic Four #1?
No.
When we mentioned that one of our shows is Blast It or Stash It, he's so you get to tell us to throw the book under the bin if it's not good. And I was like, nah, man, I'm the dissenting opinion when that comes up. So
I heard
don't worry.
Yeah, I heard you. Did you tell him that we had a couple guys on our panel that were like, this book? I don't know did you say anything about that?
I'm pretty sure somebody screamed out, "Watch out for Midwest Comic Man," but I don't know if that was true or not. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Funko asked Garth Ennis was there.
I actually interviewed Garth Ennis. It was pretty awesome.
Did you? Did you record?
Yeah, keep your eyes on the Comic Core channel. Some of that'll be popping up over there.
Cool. There was an article I found online recently. I can't remember what the article was about. I ended up sending it to Paul in off air, saying that some article said the late great Garth Ennis. So they were assuming Garth Ennis is dead or something. I'm like, oh, these guys need to do the research. They're thinking probably of Steve Dillon from that Punisher run. He did a lot of work with Garth. But I thought that was pretty dang funny. That's it for books for me. I guess you want to do a lightning round on it for you, Drew?
Yeah, I won't go super lightning. I'm going to talk about a few of these. Let's bang on some lightning line real quick. Detective Comics 989, Two-Face, more Firefly stuff. This is back to form. I'm excited about it. Stash that. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. What's that? Yeah, didn't it?
Why the hell isn't it in my stack?
What is it?
You didn't buy it.
No, that should have been on my full list. Should have been paid for. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
It's okay. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur number 35. This continues to be one of my favorite titles overall. Bright, colorful, all ages fun. Good stuff. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. We got Venom, the first host. This cover right here. I'm trying to get my lighting right so you guys can see this shit. Pretty awesome. Really dug this. The Bagley art in this, everybody's been kind of all over it, saying it's great. Looks kind of sloppy, in my opinion, for Bagley, but I like this story. I like the Kree. I like Marvel Cosmic, and I think throwing some Venom stuff in there with Krees and Skrulls is a good time. I enjoy it. I have a three-way tie for my pick of the week this week, guys, and I'll talk about each of these just a little bit. First, The Amazing Spider-Man number 6. This is the date night issue. It starts with Boomerang coming home and interrupting MJ and Peter on a date. And the second half of this is a really cool story about Spider-Man trivia night at the bar with no name, and Peter Parker being the Spider-Man trivia ringer and having a good time drinking and carrying on with all of his villains, not as Spider-Man, but as Peter Parker. Pretty cool stuff. The Otley art is on point. The humor in this book is right where it needs to be. The characters are great. And this is just really great storytelling. The kind of thing I want out of a Spider-Man book. Not a whole lot of action in this, but really quirky, fun story. Really loved it. I can't say enough good things about it. Probably my favorite issue of this run so far. And it's a stash. It would be my stash of the week. I am putting it in the running. I'm also a little bit perturbed that I can't call it my stash of the week because this great book came out, Century number 4. This is fantastic. The Jacinto art is off the chain amazing. Absolutely loving Jeff Lemire's story here. The Century is finally full, and combined with Bob and the Void for the first time ever, we get a new Century in this book. This is the first appearance of the new Century, so that probably won't jump in value at all, but it was pretty freaking cool in my opinion. Absolutely loving this story, and I'm hoping this isn't a mini. I'm hoping this continues on long term. But knowing Lemire, he's got a story to tell in probably about 12 issues, so we'll see. And the topper, the book that I think really edges those out just by inches, not by a mile, is Punisher number 2. I was talking to Mikey about this while we were standing in line for Dan Slott. Again, this dark cover and this Mylar glare is killing me here. Yeah, Punisher comes upon 2 Hydra agents that are kind of like having a little secret meeting. One gets shot in the street, the other one runs away, and he makes the mistake of telling the Punisher that if you cut one head off, 2 will grow back in its place. So Punisher cuts the fucking head off, which is pretty awesome. And then Nick Fury is like a little upset that the Punisher's running around cutting people's heads off. So he sets Luke Cage and Iron Fist up against him, and they don't stand a chance against Frank at all. He disposes of both of them pretty freaking quickly. And this book is just getting better and better. Ultra violent, super dark, twisted humor, badass dialogue. This is everything you want out of a Punisher book. I've been loving what Rosenberg's been doing this since the War Machine Punisher, and it's just this is as good as Punisher has been in years. Fantastic stuff, Paulie. I think that this is definitely a book that would be up your alley.
I haven't read it yet.
Well, you make some time in your day, brother, because I'm telling you, this is good stuff.
Hell, I don't understand. That should have been on my pull list too. Should have been the books that I picked up. You'll be talking to my LCS. Go ahead.
That's it, man.
Okay.
Those are the books I read this week.
I did pick up one.
I got some stuff I picked up at the con if we're going to go over that later, but I'm not.
We can do that. I picked up this for the cover too. Another Joshua Milton cover, and that's Batgirl number 27. Thought that was a pretty cool cover. Grab that bad boy.
It's in my box at the store. I'm waiting to pick that up.
Yeah,
I wanted to save a little bit of money on things that I wasn't going to read before I went to the con.
Yeah, like I said, usually with my con is I just pay up front quite a bit for my pull list. The stuff's on my pull list. Punisher number 2 should have been there. So should have Detective Comics number whatever that was. So I don't know why those are not on my desk here. That's a little irritating, but that's it. I'm done for books for the week, man. Give us another story from Baltimore.
Well, another story from Baltimore.
Yeah.
So today, last day, me and Joey, we walked in there, and on one of the first tables we saw had a TV set up on it. And on this TV was some demon-looking dude, and he grabs another imp demon and puts him in a blender and purees him and then drinks him. Fuck me, I'm intrigued. I walk over to the table, and this guy goes, "Do you like heavy metal?" I was like, "Fuck yeah!" So what this is it's a heavy metal band, kind of in the vein of Manowar, if you know who I'm talking about. They actually do their own comic. The band is called A Sound of Thunder, and I bought their graphic novel right here. Pretty badass art on the front.
Those guys are awesome. I saw them last year.
Oh, really?
I didn't see them there this year, but they are awesome.
All 4 signatures of the band members. I also bought their CD right here, which is also signed. And as I'm walking through the con with Joey, I'm like, man, this is going to fucking suck, blah, blah, blah. And we get to go leave the con, and I stick this in his CD player, and it is fucking amazing. It is badass stuff, great music. It's female fronted, which is right up my alley. Here's the band right here. There's the lead singer. Which one is it? This guy. This is the guy I talked to. And he did sub up Blast It or Stash It. So subbed up myself and Joey. And I'm sure he'll sub up the rest of y'all too. So try to go give these guys some support. So yeah, we actually did. We had about a 4 or 5 hour ride home, and we played this the whole time on a loop. So Jason Smith said, "A Sound of Thunder." It's a heavy metal band, so if you're into that rap shit or whatever, you ain't gonna like it. No, I'm just kidding. You might like it. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay. Before we move on to next segment, let's talk. We got one more week for the.
You should have mailed that to me, man. I just saw Clayton Crane today. We could have had 2 on there. Your audio gone again?
Is it just Dave or all of us?
What?
Shut up.
Well,
You should be able to hear me now.
Why do you?
That's right. Walking around money. Jingling,
I
jangling
got
all over
it
that
fixed
con.
now. Hopefully it's
Okay.
it's good. So 2 winners this month. One will be signed by Donnie Cates. The other one, just a regular cover. So we'll be drawing 2 winners next Sunday night on the Blast of the Stash It show. So if you give us little shekels to the Patreon, you'll be entered in that contest. So definitely come by and check it out next Sunday. See who won that thing. So should be a link to our Patreon down below in the description. Go over there, throw us $1, get entered into the contest, potentially win that book signed by Donnie Cates. Okay. I don't know if we want to move on to.
Don't do Funko yet. If Drew wants to do his haul for the con, let him go.
Yeah, let me do a little haul. This won't take me too long.
Oh, now
pick
I
up a
figured out
couple
what was
things.
wrong. I had a different window open and I didn't have my mic synced on.
Wrong
Sorry.
window.
Sorry.
Wrong window.
You go ahead. Do your
I picked
thing,
this
Drew.
up today. This is an
Award-winning. Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. How about that? Sorry, I had to go get a drink and I thought I hit my mute button. I hit your mute button.
Can you hear me now?
You should be able to go now.
This is Chicago Typewriter. This is an award-winning
Damn it, I thought I missed all
independent
this.
graphic novel, self-published. This guy I was talking to, he's got like a Constantine vibe, meets 1920 Chicago. This is looks like some pretty cool stuff. He's won some awards. The art looks pretty good. And I also talked to him, so if we can, if it's actually good, we're gonna try to get him on the show and talk to him live and get him to promote his stuff. So this I'm excited to crack into. Very excited. I picked up some Captain Marvel goodness. Got a real cherry copy of number 15 for a really great price. This is absolutely gorgeous. Picked up a really nice copy of Ms. Marvel number 20 as well. I didn't pay cover price on this either, so whatever that sticker says, ignore that. Got a good deal on that. Picked up the first appearance of Captain Marvel as well. Huh? A crap? Yeah. This is a little beat to shit. In great condition, except for the cover. The cover is splitting off on the back, and there's some issues on the front. But I got this for $50 cash, so I ain't mad at it. Very excited to have this in my collection. This was my one must grab while I was at the con this week, and got a great price on it. Also picked up some other books. Grabbed the Shattered Grid, Power Rangers number 30, Infinity Gauntlet homage. Man, I really want this light to work out so you guys can see how beautiful this freaking cover is. This was signed by the artist Buzz. I was seeing this at $20, $25 all over the con. I paid $15 for it, and he signed it. And because I bought it, he also threw in the print and signed that as well.
Buzz is an awesome guy. I met him down here.
Yeah, I talked to Buzz. Me and my daughter were sitting there talking to Buzz and about one of his Cowboy Bebop prints. My daughter's like, I couldn't get into Cowboy Bebop, and he starts shitting on her immediately. He's like, "What? You couldn't get into Cowboy Bebop? What's wrong with you?" And I had to tell them the story that we were at another booth, and she was talking about how she hadn't seen The Labyrinth, and then she hasn't seen The Fifth Element, and now I'm realizing I'm a failure as a father. But we're gonna remedy all that soon. I'm gonna chain her to a pipe in the cross base, tape her eyelids open, and make her watch Cowboy Bebop. So Buzz, if you're watching, I'm doing that for you, buddy. So this is pretty cool. I also brought this fantastic Billy Tucci Virgin variant. It's at CGC right now. I brought it. I didn't know Billy Tucci was going to be there. I was just going to submit it. I did get its signature series, though, and I picked up his last copy in his possession of this print as well. This is just absolutely gorgeous. He actually took the opportunity as well. Was like, "Oh, I don't have the original art for this anymore. I sold it." He's like, "But I got to show you something." And he digs through a bunch of papers, a bunch of his sketches, and he finds the original rough sketch that he did of that, and it's absolutely gorgeous. If I had more money with me, I would have thrown him an offer. But it was just an amazing experience. Tucci was a great guy. Talked to Joey for a good bit there as well about the American Legion. He's a veteran.
He's big on the veterans.
Yeah, wasn't taking anything for signatures either, just taking donations for the American Legion, and really great dude. Easy to talk to, was very accommodating with his pricing, threw me a deal on just about everything without me asking for it. Was just, really happy to be there and talk to the fans. And that's the kind of vibe we got from most of the creators when we were down there. Yeah. One other creator I'll talk about real quick. She signed 3 of my books, and that is the absolutely lovely Marguerite Bennett. She is one of the sweetest people in the industry I've ever met. She put hearts.
She doesn't like Chad, though.
Well, nobody likes Chad. But funny story. This is actually a funny story. We're at the Boom Studios booth, and I don't realize it's Marguerite Bennett. I didn't look down at her. I don't know what she looks like. I just know her stuff. We're talking about Power Rangers Shattered Grid, because I'm in love with that. Anybody who watches any of our shows knows that I love Power Rangers Shattered Grid. So I'm kind of going off on a little nerd rant about how much I like Shattered Grid. We start talking about Emo Lobo from the New 52. She had a hand in helping create, and Chad is shitting all over it. Thank God I'm there saying, "Nah, man, I like Emo Lobo. Emo Lobo was cool." Then I look down and I realize, oh shit, you are Marguerite Bennett. Chad just turns his head and walks away. He's like,
he couldn't walk past that booth or go anywhere near that.
He couldn't make eye contact with her for the rest of the weekend. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go over to see my friend Marguerite again. And he's like, no, I'm not going over there. But hey, man, she was the sweetest. She actually took some time out to talk to my kid today when we went over and got some books signed. An absolute babe and an absolute wonderful human being. So yeah, definitely support her and what she does. She's doing a great job out there. Again, some more stories about creators. Comics Mix Explained and I spent a long time talking to Mark Andraco, who is writing Supergirl right now. He also worked on the further adventures of Nick Wilson, which is a fantastic indie book that's got 6 issues out there. Go buy the trade so they make more of it. Really great Image title about a superhero's fall from grace in a real realistic and grounded way of looking at it. And very funny stuff. Like, what would you do if you were Superman and all of a sudden you weren't anymore? You'd probably hang out on your couch and take bong hits. And that's what Nick Wilson does. So it's a really, really cool deal. And he personalized a great book to my daughter. We had a great conversation with him. Awesome guy. He's on Collider Heroes a lot. So check him out. Check out his stuff. He's got some Crypto, the Superdog stuff happening in Supergirl coming up soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Yeah, beyond that, just great creators, man. Everybody I came across. Clayton Crane was really easy to deal with today. Really nice guy. Signed everybody's books with paint pens in a color that was complementary. so he would, or contrasting. So every one of his signatures on every one of his books he signed popped like absolute crazy. I got a Doctor Doom Clayton Crane cover on Fantastic Four #1. Virgin variant, he signed it, and right next to the green, it's just like bright magenta colored signature that just jumps off the page, and that kind of attention to detail. And you would watch him assess his cover and be like, okay, here's where I'm putting my name.
I wish
to do it right.
I wish Sudan did that on my book, fucker.
Yeah, we met Arthur Sudan. He was awesome as well. Real weird guy,
weird
but
guy.
He was awesome. Check out the interview on Comic Core. That'll be coming out with him very shortly. I talked to Ed Pisker from Hip Hop Family Tree for a while. He didn't want to do an interview, but really nice dude. We all took some time to talk to Peter J. Tomasi. He's one of the easiest guys to talk to at the cons. Again, we talked about Snyder and Capullo and all the great stuff they did for us this weekend. Those guys were on point and absolutely gracious and giving with their time when they really didn't need to be. It was just a lot of times you go to a con and you feel like you're just handing money over for a service. And this didn't feel that way, man. Most of the creators we talked to really wanted to talk to the fans. They had questions for us. We had questions for them. We had conversations. You end up, talking to a creator about what they're working on, and then you end up talking shit about something that they were reading that you're reading. And it's just, they're all fans too. And Baltimore is a great environment for a con. I've been telling everybody that since I've been talking to you guys online. Baltimore is a great book show. So many comics, so many comic fans. It's not like the pop culture cons. It's just a little bit different. And today I spent a lot of time in Artist Alley, making some connections there and trying to find some lesser known folks, lesser known creators that want to expand and get an opportunity to promote their stuff. And I think that our community is absolutely perfect for that. And hopefully we'll get some of these guys on here and we'll get an opportunity to talk to them about what they're working on, promote their Indiegogos, their Kickstarters and their online stores, and give them really a chance to shine. Everybody I talked to was absolutely awesome, man. Every time I turned around, we're making friends. So, from the real comic book talk guys, the comic fiend guys, to the playmates that are working the Pussycats booth that all wanted to be my friend for some reason. Dude, I have no idea. Look, you go ahead and you say that right now. What happened when we walked over to those girls? That cop. Everybody's probably seen Mike's Facebook photo of the sexy police officer, right? We're over there. We're talking to the creator of that book, right? The sexy police officer's over there. Mike, what'd she say to me?
I don't remember, actually.
Oh, she looked at me and she said, "Don't I know you from somewhere?"
Okay,
right?
Yep.
I talked to her. We lived in the same neighborhood for a while. We know some of the same people. I forgot her names. The next day I go back, she's not there anymore. And I'm trying to talk to the creator of the book. I'm like, "What's her name?" I go back and I'm telling him the story of our conversation. And I get her name and I'm like, okay. And I'm going to look her up on Instagram. I'm going to hit her up and say, "Hey, it's nice to meet you," and try to figure out where I know her from. And while I'm doing that, the model that was there that day comes up to me and says, "Don't I know you from somewhere?" And at this point, I'm like, are they paying him to say this? But no, I know her from the neighborhood too. And we're rolling in the con this morning. As she gets out of her car, somebody drops her off the front door. She comes up. She's like, "Hey, friend, how you doing?" I'm like, "I'm making friends with spokesmodels now. This is a great con. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team." And we had the best team rolling through that motherfucker. Bo show.
Yeah. Yep.
Were there any gay pirates? That's my question.
No, we looked for you.
You look for me? Thanks, I appreciate that, Mike.
Yeah, I was looking, and if I would have found a couple, I would have had to give you a big shit. Yoo-hoo!
Want to go on a gay, sexy pirate ride?
I'm not going to go through all my books that I picked up because
Grandpa, I don't want to interrupt, but I have to say something to Jason Smith real quick. He said that dog behind me he wouldn't trust with my comics and action figures. Jason, I trust my dog with my comics and action figures more than I trust you and your medium mail ass. So,
oh my goodness! Shots fired.
like I said, I'm not going to go through all my books because I want to get to the Funko stuff. Just some highlights here. This is a Baltimore Comic-Con exclusive, limited to 350 pieces. Saw this. Sub-Zero is my favorite Mortal Kombat character. And meat and potatoes right there, so I grabbed that. Excuse me. This is Joey's favorite book right here, Faith #1, Dreamside, con exclusive. No, I'm just kidding. This Perillo variant I had to grab right there. Not sure who this is done by, but it's Psylocke Venomized. I grabbed that. Picked up this Mighty Thor variant there. Let's see what else real quick. Picked up a bunch of... I'll do a full haul on my channel, but picked up this What If number 18 for real cheap, real good condition for my run. Went to Mike Zeck and got him to sign this G.I. Joe exclusive right there.
I have that book. I bought that one at Rose City.
Yeah, he was having a real good deal. His handler or his wife or whatever, she was, I'll give you this for this, and I couldn't help myself. I got the COA back there.
Yeah, what'd you get for that book, Mike?
I think it was only $20. Maybe it was even cheaper because I got some prints from him too. So,
yeah, it was $20, I think, and then you got a deal on the print if you bought the book.
So I grabbed that. I met the model for this Vampirella right there. She signed it to Spider Grandpa. I think her name is Amy Me. Hugs and kisses, so that's pretty hot.
He got hugs and kisses there, Drew. Not just a heart.
You know that X's and O's now stands for meat and potatoes, not cousins.
And like we talked about, Arthur Sudan, he's one of my favorite artists. I love his zombie stuff. I walked by his booth the first day many a times. I didn't even realize it was him. He kept calling, I did work on that walking. He's crazy, man. But so I bought this Marvel Zombies #1. Always loved this cover. Always wanted this book in my collection.
He signed it in the shadow.
He did sign it. You could barely fucking see it right there. But I did get to see COA with it, so.
So we need a nice silver pen or something on that one.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. He's crazy. What else did I get?
Real quick, you one who brings Tat brings his own pens when he gets book signed, and he picks out what color he wants the artist or writer to sign on the book. That's crazy.
That's because Tat's a goddamn professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, this con was the most signatures I've ever gotten. I'm not a big waiting in line for signatures, but for some reason I kept getting. We talked about Tucci. I got this Spider-Gwen print signed by him, right there. And okay, you guys are gonna love this one. This is my favorite out of all of them, and this is by Tucci too. This Wonder Woman right here.
Yeah, I like that.
This is fucking amazing right here.
I'm gonna try to find that print.
I also picked up some prints from Mike Zeck as well to go on my Venom shrine. I got that signed. And this Punisher right here. I used to have a poster of this in my room back in high school, so grab that. Picked up this Venom Marvel Select. I don't see him down in my area anymore, so I grabbed that. This was part of the VIP package, and it's 2018. What is it called? Baltimore Comic-Con yearbook. Bunch of great art in here. It's hardbound. So,
who's that art on that front? That's
Terry Moore's Stranger in Paradise.
Yeah, Terry Moore. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other artists in there. Was Adam Hughes there? Yes.
Adam Hughes was not there.
Oh, no. Adam Hughes was not there. My bad.
Adam Hughes was at Rose City in early September.
But other than the Funko stuff, that's really it.
I feel like we left Paul out of this conversation.
Paul,
I'm just checking out what these guys got. So
Okay.
I'm cool.
As long as you're good, I don't want you over there feeling left out.
You have any questions, Paulie?
I heard there were more stories to come.
Yeah, I've heard that too. You have anything for Shut Your Funko Mouth tonight, or we?
I do. I was going to show the actual Funkos I got at this con.
You go ahead and do that, or you can wait till your show. Whatever you want to do, Mike.
Well, we could do that right now.
What's this segment called?
Shut your Funko Mouth!
One of these days, he's going to lose his voice, and it's not going to be good. You're going to hear a vocal cord snap.
That I had to do that for Chad as soon as I met him. He wanted me to do that. I don't know, but this con was very lackluster in the pop selection. It was more comic book based, which is absolutely fine. I did find a few things. First thing I picked up. Well, actually, I got this right on Friday before we left. Actually, on Thursday, and this is the GameStop exclusive Mira from Aquaman in her dress. So I pre-ordered that. First pop I picked up at the con was Specialty Series from Nightmare Before Christmas, and that is the werewolf. So I grabbed that.
Did you see Comic Mix Explained? He put on Shut Your Funko Mouth. He put a little trademark symbol after it.
That's right.
Oh yes, he did.
How do you do that? I gotta know. That's cool.
Trade secrets.
Trade secrets. I don't know. Misexplained is awesome.
Why don't you get the audio figured out first, and then we'll start putting bells and whistles.
Hey, you know what? I control your audio, so I shut your mouth.
So I'm going to show you the best one last. I did pick this one up today. I thought it was going to be a lot more than he charged. I didn't have that much money left, and I picked up Popeye from the Specialty Series. I only paid $5 for him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So during the whole Capullo Snyder thing, me and Chad were standing there, and he was going to ship me a Funko he got for me. Then he said he was going to bring it to Baltimore, and he forgot it. So to make it up to me, he didn't have to do this. He got me this pop, which was already signed by Capullo. And while Snyder was there, I got Snyder to sign it on the front. So that's Batman. When I came home today, I had 2 mystery boxes. Do you guys want to see what's in the Venom box?
I'm guessing it's Venom.
There is Venom stuff in this box. First off, we got this little Venom sticker. I guess you could put it on your car. We got
on my laptop.
Put it on your laptop. Put it on whatever.
Your watermelon, your refrigerator, whatever you want to put it on.
Why would you put it on a watermelon?
I'm just saying you can put it anywhere you want to put it.
That's what she said.
Till Pokey and Joe came in and ruined it for everyone.
Oh, wait, we're getting there.
We're getting there. We're saving the best for last. So, also came with this shirt. I really don't like this shirt. I thought it was going to be different, but I will wear it. It came with the Venom little... Oh, shit, on a shingle. Fucking this little mystery mini Venom. It came with a Venom stress ball. Like, I need that. And this Marvel Collector Court exclusive Venom with the green shit all over his face and the tongue coming out.
Green Bukkake Venom.
Did he hook up with She-Hulk?
Yeah, he did.
It looks like it.
He Venomized her. Also came today.
That's the gamma secretions.
Hashtag
gamma secretions.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Moving on.
I also pre-ordered this. This is the Hot Topic mystery box for, I guess, Halloween horror. Everybody knows what's in here. Everyone's going for this box for the Leatherface Funko Pop, where he's wearing the woman's skin. You have a chance of a chase, and I got home, and I don't know how to fucking open this now. Got home. First thing you get is a Beetlejuice plushie. It's pretty cool. You get original Jason Voorhees mystery mini where he's got the sack over his head. You get this sack. Ash from the Evil Dead keychain. And wouldn't you fucking know it? I got a Chase. Right there, baby.
Oh, nice.
The difference is this one has a little blood splatter on him. The other one's just plain. So I lucked out with that. So happy to have that. And that is it for Shut Your Funko Mouth. I have no news. I didn't know what time I was getting home tonight. I know Joey likes to keep me out drinking and shit. Another shout out before we move on. Shout out to Sliders in Baltimore for filling this up 4 times with tequila last night.
What?
God bless you. God bless you guys.
Dude, that is a lot of freaking tequila.
Well, it was mixed with Orange Crush or something, but still.
Okay.
Me and Joey drank a lot of tequila last night. And, yeah, it was bad. So, that is it. Shut your fucking mouth!
Okay,
Sliders was the scene of the crime. Sliders was the scene of the crime. All right, Friday night. We're like Comic Core. We're going to do something. We're going to do a live show. We're going to end up somewhere. We end up outside on a picnic bench at Sliders, streaming live. Anybody who didn't get a chance to check out the live show from Comic Core on Friday night, go back, watch the rewind. Apparently, it was a shit show. I don't know. I was hammered drunk, dancing like a maniac, making friends, arguing with people about comic book movies behind the show happening. People who were like, what are you people doing here? I'm like, oh, we're here for Comic-Con. The Orioles game let out, and a bunch of regular Baltimore mooks decided they were going to come over and drink cheap beer, and they were there for the show as well. It was fun. It was wonderful. Me and Pocan Joe got a little sauced up. He thought that I was angry. I kept telling him I wasn't. I'm just drunk. But we were arguing about the dumbest shit.
Can I chime in here for a minute?
Yeah.
While Pocan Joe and Drew over there were arguing, Chad was getting worried as a motherfucker. He was getting goosebumps. He was getting like an anxiety attack. He thought they were going to go to blows. I had to pull Chad aside and be like, look, man, this is what Joey does, and this is what Drew does. Just let them go. They're not going to fight. So it was pretty funny. So
my favorite part was when Drew kept grabbing the mic and unplugging it so that he could, and screaming into it, thinking he was screaming into the mic. And
I don't remember doing that, so I'm glad that you do remember that happening. All right, so here's the deal. They thought that me and Joey were fighting. We weren't. We were having a spirited debate, and I was too drunk to make any sense. That makes me look like I'm angry. I wasn't. I was having a blast. And I see this girl. She's talking to her girlfriends. Check her out. Yeah. Oh, there's that girl. I turn around. She's there again. Later on, I turn around. She's there again. I said to Jason, I'm like, I'm going to go talk to that butt. And he's like, okay. So I get up.
What was? Oh, you're going to tell the line. Never mind. I'm
gonna tell the line.
Okay.
I get up. I walk over. Things are going swimmingly between the two of us.
Swimmingly.
They don't go swimmingly at first. I walk over to her, and I am hammered. I am hammered drunk. I am. It wouldn't have worked out anyway. Don't tell Joey that. I know he's watching this. But I'm hammered drunk. I look at her. I said, "Pardon me, miss. Are you from the Philippines?" She looks at me all confused. I said, "Girl, because I love the way you fill your jeans." She looked at me with the most deflated look on her face, like, "Oh man, don't do that. Don't do that." And I look at her girlfriend. I'm like, "What? That didn't work?" And she's like, "Nah." And I was like, "Scale of 1 to 10." She's like, 1.5. So then the girl says to me, I said to her, I was like, "All right, well, you got to help me. Like, how do I do better than that?" And she's like, she puts her hand out. She shakes my hand. She says, "Hi, my name is," I forget what her name is. I was drunk. And then she says, "Can I buy you a drink?" And I said, "Yeah, let's go inside and get me one." And we did. We were inside. It was working out. Everything's going swimmingly. Meanwhile, I'm inside macking, right? Chad and Jason and Jimmy, Virgil,
Like,
get in a cab and leave. right? And I'm
Okay,
like, leave me there. That's fine. I'm macking it. Leave me there. Don't interrupt. No, you can interrupt.
Me and Joey are in a separate hotel than these guys. So our hotel is actually right next to this bar. So, and these guys just fucking haul and leave his ass with us.
So anyway, instead of, just let me do my thing, Joey comes inside like, hey, they left. I'm like, the fuck, they left? And then cock blocks me. So now I do not have a ride. I know I don't have a girl. Come the fuck on. Fucking pecan cock blocking Joe, man.
So make you got a little better chance with the ladies this time than you did at Dallas.
I got a better chance with everybody this time, buddy, but didn't work out.
See what Joey said?
Nope, fuck that dude.
So,
man.
So what did you end up doing then? You just end up going home with Mike and poke on Joe there?
I huffed it and thought I was going to get robbed.
But you just went home every night, didn't you? Drew, you don't live too far from there.
No, I stayed on the floor.
Kind of.
That's true. Night one. I had some really bad news befall me on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
The PA guys rolled out late. And so I hoofed it home and slept in my own bed. Just didn't feel like being out at a bar, but honestly, great support from the friends that were down there. And I really appreciate that. I won't get too far into it, but my uncle passed away on Saturday. So yeah, we were really close. So it was a bit of a hard pill to swallow in the middle of a great weekend. But I think being around friends was really helpful. I just as soon as I got home, my head hit the pillow and I was out like a light. But we were back down there and at it again this morning, bright and early. So
yeah, big shout out to your daughter for coming and getting to meet her. So her name's Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia's cool. She's got her moments. She doesn't watch Cowboy Bebop though, so.
Okay, shift gears just a little bit here. Let's let Deuce Paul a little talking here. I know the plan is this summer, this spring, is C2E2 in Chicago.
Yeah, I think it's the end of March.
Yeah, so why don't you give us a little? You've been to that before, Drew or Paul. Why don't you give us a little bit of info on that? I tried looking online too and find some information. They don't have any tickets yet or guests or anything.
Yeah, they're usually pretty slow to update their tickets and stuff, but I know the dates this year is, let me see, March 22nd to the 24th.
To the 24th.
And that's the next plan for us to get together this next spring, I think, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That seems to be the consensus. We're all going to do our best.
Yeah. I got some stuff coming up. I got to wait to kind of see what's going on, see if I'm going to even have fundage to go. Depending on.
That's probably with everybody.
Yeah, so as soon as I know next couple months, so.
Dave, I heard you had a really great Rose City Comic-Con story with Bueller.
Oh, I heard about this.
What? No, I didn't.
Is that not true?
No. I met Bueller.
Briefly. Did Bueller meet you?
Yeah, as far as I knew.
Did he know who you were?
I don't know if he knew who I was. Did he know who I was? What did he say? Something?
Oh, sorry. Spoiler alert.
No, okay. Now, what did he say? Was he on Comic Core Friday night? Said, "Hey,
no. You gotta ask Chad.
Random fat dude came up and started talking to me like he knew me.
You gotta ask Chad to tell the story.
Now you got me all concerned. Now.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, whatever. So running in an hour and a half long, so we'll go ahead and cut this out with go off air and figure out what the frickin' A is going on with the story with Bueller. I don't want to embarrass myself on live on air. So, Drew, shout outs for you.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Special shout out to my boy Virgil. Anybody who doesn't know him, he makes his surprise appearance in the video I'm cutting together. Yeah, I'm cutting together a video, guys. I'm going to put it on my channel. What? Probably not going to happen. I might lose interest the next day or so, and it might not actually happen. But keep your eyes peeled. It might happen. Shout out to all the friends we met down at Comic-Con, the comic book fiends or comic book fiend club.
Yep.
And the real comic book talk guys, awesome guys down there. Shout out to my new girlfriend Marguerite Bennett. I'll be home soon, honey. Don't worry. Shout out to all the creators who showed us great love. Shout out to Spider Grandpa. Shout out to that cock blocking ass bastard Pecan Joe. Shout out to Comics Misexplained. Real fucking cool dude. If you guys get a chance to get up to the Dirty Berg and hang out with him and Chad Chatterson, that is definitely something you need to do. Shout out to Chad for all of his hospitality. Let me crash on the floor of his hotel room. Absolutely awesome guy. We had an absolute blast down in Baltimore. I'm so glad that people got to come to my hometown. I got to show a little bit of hospitality, get y'all fuckers some crab dip and some natty bows. Cheap beer. Easy for me to be hospitable when that's all I'm buying. We had a great time. We met some great people. We had great fun. To be honest, the fact that Paulie wasn't there, Huey wasn't there, that it sticks in my craw a little bit because dude, Huey, I kept telling stories about how every time I talk to somebody about meeting somebody new, like, oh, I feel like I know him forever. I was like, that's exactly how I felt the moment I ran up and hugged Huey at the airport in Dallas. And we had a great time down there. We had a great time this weekend. But man, C2E2, if we can all get together, my God, so much whiskey will be drank, and I will hit on so many waitresses. It's not even going to be funny. Shout out to Big Jeremy, Trinity's Comics. We were thinking about you a lot while we were down there. Shout out to everybody, man. It was great. Again, getting the community together. It wasn't nearly as many of us as there was in Dallas, but we had a blast. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, fuck that. No, we had a stash. So we had a stash, and I plan on doing it again in C2E2. Can't wait for it. A little bit of a somber moment before I shut up and let you guys go. My uncle passed away on Saturday. One of the greatest people I've ever known in my life. Battled depression for a long time. If you guys know anybody who is depressed or needs help at all, be sure to reach out and talk to them. The fact that I hadn't talked to my uncle in a little while before he left this world really is sticking with me a lot, and very upsetting. But just make sure you hug your loved ones, and make sure that you know anybody who's feeling down and out in any way, shape, or form. Reach out to them, talk to them, show them some love. All right, thanks, guys. I'm actually going to hop off now, guys. Not going to be on the off air. So I got to roll and run some errands, but before I head to bed. So
right. Thanks
so much, everybody. I'll see you guys later.
Later,
Have a great night.
All right, later, Drew.
Later, Drew.
Thanks, Drew.
Paul, how about you?
Shout out as always to everybody in the chat, and shout out to Mikey and Drew for giving us an endless bunch of stories that we'll probably be hearing over the next couple weeks. Shout out to my boy Chad, who had to put up with a Steelers game that he didn't want to go to today. And shout out to the rest of the Blaster Stash It crew.
Mike?
I want to shout out to that chick that he didn't get a piece of. You're lucky. There's another lady I want to shout out. The drunk chick from last night whose friends left her, and she ended up dying in the alley, I think. No, actually, yeah. So me and Joey are sitting there drinking, just talking, and there's a table full of girls, and her friends just get up and leave her, and she's drunk. She can't even walk straight. Don't know what happened to her, but big shout out to her for hanging in there and being tough. Everyone in Baltimore, nice meeting Comics Misexplained and Chad. Great guys. But yeah.
And my shout outs, thank you guys for all those wonderful stories from Baltimore. And I think Drew left early from the chat because he didn't want to explain what the hell the story is, talking about me and Rose City Comic Con and Bueller. Now I'm kind of worried and concerned here. So
don't be. It's not.
Whatever. Okay. So, with you guys, whether you blasted, whether you happy reading, and we will catch you next week. Later, guys.